you doing? This is Black Shy Guy here. Welcome to another YouTube video. As always, I thank you for sitting at my table, and we have another UFC video to talk about. A lot of people wanted me to talk about this freaking Kayla Harrison, Holm, UFC 300. Listen, UFC 300 is stacked. UFC 300 is stacked. I'm not gonna lie to you. Justin versus Holloway, Zhang versus Yang, freaking Kata versus Aljamain, Charles Oliveira. It is stacked. I'm not going to lie. Marina Rodriguez versus Andrade. It's UFC. I would want the tickets for that. But I ain't going to pay for the tickets for that. I tell you that much. I'm not paying for the tickets for that. I am not. Hopefully, Weili comes up on top. Hopefully, Marina comes out on top. I really want her to push upward in rank. I really want Marina Rodriguez to be a number one contender for the title. I really do. That would be a really good fight. I'm not saying that Yang is not a great number one contender. That's going to be a good fight. Weili versus Yang is going to be a really good fight. But I would really want Marina to push up and get up to there. But people want me to talk about this Holm Harrison fight. I'm going to say one thing about this Holm Harrison fight before I get to the nitty gritty of it. Kayla Harrison, I don't know much about her, but I seen videos. I seen her finishes. I seen her technique. And she's at 155. Now she's trying to go down to 135 to fight Holm, which is already going to be a disadvantage to her because fighting at 155 is already going to feel so much different when she fights at 135. That's a disadvantage to her already. And is her power going to be reduced also? Because as you've seen in her last fights, she overpowers the opponent. Is she still going to have the availability of strength at 135? Last thing Holm wants to do anyway is to go to the ground with this with Harrison. Holm should avoid it at all costs. That's without a doubt. But people are already throwing their predictions. A lot of people are going with Kayla Harrison for the win. So obviously Holm is already an underdog, and I can see why, but at the same time I question as to why people are automatically going directly for Harrison as the winner for UFC 300. If Holm stays off the ground with this lady, if Holm just stays off the mat with this lady, she has a good chance. If she stays on her feet against Harrison. She does. Like I said, don't know much about Harrison. I really don't. Despite her impressive PFL career, I don't know much about her. And a lot of times, PFL, I'm not saying they don't have good fighters, but the record can be somewhat discouraging and somewhat not believable for the simple fact that what kind of class of fighters are you fighting? Because now she's in the UFC. She's going to be fighting top contenders. She's going to be fighting good fighters. Without a doubt, she's going to be fighting good fighters. There is no way her PFL career should be, is it impressive? Yes. But in my opinion, and I'm saying in my opinion, and like I said, I don't stand above correction. Somebody comes to me and says, you're really disqualifying her PFL record for no reason. You should give it a high amount of consideration. And yes, she's earned it. It takes a lot to go in the ring and come out the victor. I'm just saying that the class of fighters in the UFC go way above and beyond people from the PFL. That's all I'm saying. If she comes to the UFC and pulls off an impressive record, then I would consider it. But you ain't fighting no Valentina in the PFL. That's all I'm saying. You're not fighting no Valentina Shevchenko in the PFL. That's all I'm gonna say. But Holm does have her handful. Despite that, Holm does have her handful. But it's not like Holm hasn't been in wars in the octagon. You know what I mean? She's been in the octagon with Amanda. She's been in the octagon. I'm not even gonna mention Rousey because can any of us even mention Rousey anymore? Can we ever mention that name anymore? Because Rousey, despite her early appearance in the UFC, which was quite impressive, her outing was so damaging, so discouraging to her unbelievable early on career in the UFC that it's almost disqualifies everything she's ever done. The way she was outed in the UFC, the way she was exposed by Holm, the preacher's daughter, and by Amanda Nunes, the way Amanda Nunes destroyed her. But at the same time, Amanda Nunes is one of the greatest. I mean, and that goes to show, because I just want to throw in a little something about Amanda Nunes. A lot of people said on my last UFC video, a lot of people questioned Amanda Nunes as being the greatest because of the simple fact that she didn't take a third fight against oh my God, I caught a brain fart. I caught a freaking brain fart. But you know who I'm talking, Juliana Pena, right? I mean, do you really want to see a third fight? The way that second fight was, Amanda Nunes against Juliana Pena, it was no competition. The only reason it almost went into a good competition is because, what was it, the third or fourth round? Amanda Nunes, for some odd reason, decided to start going to the mat with Juliana Pena. I don't know why in God's green earth, when you destroyed her on your feet, would you start going to the mat in the fourth round? It was in the fourth round. Why? You literally destroyed on the first and second and third round on your feet, and you decide to go to the mat with her. I couldn't understand it for the life of me. But that match, Amanda Nunes completely outclassed Juliana Pena. Completely outclassed her. Juliana Pena was exposed in technique as well. She had no technique in that fight. She was swinging like a wild animal uncaged. She had no kind of form. I mean, Amanda Nunes switching it up, the stances, especially going into southpaw, completely obliterated Juliana Pena's game plan. Completely obliterated it. And the fact that when she went to southpaw, because Amanda Nunes has power in both hands. And the fact that southpaw already was damaging Juliana Pena, the fact that she could now lead with the right, with that amount of power, which, as you can see, knocked her twice with a straight right. I mean, that match completely, even Dana White said there's no point for a third match. I mean, and I'm not trying to make excuses for Amanda Nunes by losing the first match with Juliana, but there was a lot of freaking obstacles for Amanda Nunes to overcome in that first fight. She was sick, etc. It's not excuses, it's facts. So you gotta stop questioning Amanda Nunes' greatness. Amanda Nunes is one of the greatest. She beat almost everybody. Chris Cyborg, Ronda Rousey, Valentina, Holm. I mean, Misha Tate. I mean, she beat everybody who was available to fight and who was good at their game at the time, and she destroyed them. So what more can you say about Amanda Nunes? And that's all I have to say about that. I mean, for the people who's questioning Amanda Nunes' greatness, you guys are bonkers. But anyway, let's get back to the matter at hand. Holm has a good, impressive record. 15 wins, 8 knockouts, 7 decisions, 6 losses. Holm is still someone to talk about. And despite the fact that Holm has had a bumpy road after defeating Ronda Rousey, she's had 3 straight losses. But you got to understand, look at those 3 straight losses, right? Those 3 straight losses were by decent, not even decent, by great individuals. I mean, let's take a look. After the Ronda Rousey, right, win, look who she had to fight. Misha Tate, she lost. Do we even want to question this one? She lost to Valentina. Come on. Who's not going to lose to Valentina? Like, let's stop it there. So she had 2 freaking big fights after the Rousey win already. Jermaine, I don't know how she lost to Jermaine. I'm not taking credit away from Jermaine. I'm just saying Holm should have bounced back on that. She should have. I don't get how she won against Beth, lost again to whole Chris Cyborg. Like, let's get serious. She's fought really good fighters. I mean, Holm has had an impressive battle career. Aspinalled, that was a cancel no bout. She lost again to Amanda Nunes. Then She won against Raquel Pennington, which was a good bounce back, etc. And the list goes on. I'm telling you, Holly Holm has had an impressive battle career. So for people to all of a sudden jump to freaking Harrison like she's definitely going to destroy the preacher's daughter. I mean, Harrison has not fought people like this. Let's get that straight. Harrison has not fought people like this. Okay? At all. She has not fought. And yeah, she's been going in the back and forth with Chris Cyborg. We hear that spat going on back and forth. Chris Cyborg wanting to fight her, this and that and the third. That's been going on for a while. I don't know why Bellator, I don't know why any of her partners didn't call Bellator so they could get that fight underway, but that's neither here nor there. She signed with the UFC. Now she's fighting the preacher's daughter. Obviously, if she wins that, she's such a big draw and she's such a highly televised person that brings commercialized opportunities that if she wins against the preacher's daughter, I won't be surprised if she wins one more fight, she's already a contender for the title. Because that's how business works when it comes to the UFC. That's how business works when it comes to the UFC. To me, I believe that this is going to be a sloppy fight. It is going to be a sloppy fight. I'm not going to lie. It is, because Harrison is going to continuously try to get Holly Holm on to the mat. I don't think Harrison can go toe-to-toe with Holly Holm when it comes to the ground. When it comes to the game plan when they're on their feet, I just don't think she has what it takes to take on the preacher's daughter. But if the preacher's daughter stays on her feet, I believe she can come out the victor, especially if she already has the advantage of fighting at 135. I don't think Harrison is going to be the same at 135. I don't think she's going to be the same. I think she's going to be a little sluggish. I think she's not going to be as confident at 135. She's gonna be a different fighter. Maybe she feels really confident. I mean, but despite her confidence, is gonna feel real different. I mean, that weight, that drop in freaking 20 pounds is gonna feel highly significant. It's going to feel highly significant when you're in the octagon. But I don't know. What say you? I mean, who you got? Harrison or you got Holly Holm? I believe in the end, if the preacher's daughter stays on her feet and she stays off the mat, despite Harrison dropping to 135, you do not want to go on the mat against this girl. You do not want to do that. You want to stay on your feet, and I believe Holly Holm can take the win if she does that. Anyway, like I said, what say you? This is Black Shy Guy. Thank you once again for sitting at my table. I'm out of here. Peace.
Arch criminal who must be put away. Another innocent victim of suicidal maniac.